Flosstube, I'm Amy. I am the Globetrotting Stitcher, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday, February 21st, and today's episode has been brought to you once again by the letter S for Snowmageddon and Snowpocalypse and all the other silly words that start with snow. So like much of the US, we have had our fair share of snow over the last couple of weeks. Last weekend we were snowed in for a bit. We ended up getting, I think, around a foot of snow. And the last of the big snow drifts are still melting away, although they're mostly gone now. But it was really fun. It stuck around just, long enough, and it was just inconvenient enough to be a bit of an adventure. Certainly nothing like what folks are experiencing in Texas and in some other parts of the US. And for those of you that are dealing with all of those difficulties, our thoughts are very much with you. We're really sorry that you're going through that, and we hope that that things turn around for you soon. I know power is starting to come back on in Texas, so that's great, but a lot of challenges yet to be navigated, so our thoughts are very much with you. For us, however, although we did have a big dumping of snow, it ended up being quite a bit of fun. So Bear and Sophie are big fans of the snow, so I took them for an extra long walk. And Sophie likes to jump from snowdrift to snowdrift, and then she'll turn around and she'll smile, and it's really sweet and really cute. So we really enjoyed that. And then I had quite a bit of fun on our walk because at one point Bear caught the scent of something, I don't know what it was, in a snowdrift. And he dove headfirst into the drift, and all you could see was this big black bum, furry bum wiggling on the outside of the snowdrift, and he was just rooting around in there. He never did find what he was looking for, but it was quite fun.
But you know.
Right, well, yeah.
It was a mouse.
It might have, that might have been taken care of before he ever pulled his head out of the snowdrift. I did take some video from our walk, so we'll see if any of it's actually usable to kind of show you some of the fun that they had. For whatever reason, Bear, every single time I would turn the video camera on, would decide that was a good time to go to the bathroom. So there may not be any usable video.
Or there may be there may be lots of usable video.
Right. You make the call. Anyway, so that was fun. Gary had decided at one point during our snowpocalypse that we did not have enough snacks in the house. And so he put on all of his cold weather gear and his heavy duty boots and grabbed his backpack, and he walked to our nearest grocery store, which is a couple miles away. Which I worried a little bit about him because he had to walk along a fairly busy local highway to get there. But he did come back armed with plenty of good eats for us, and so we didn't go hungry. Anyway.
Yeah, that was Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Yeah, and you wanted chocolate cake, and we didn't have even the mix for that, so that is why I went.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
We're going to move right along.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lovely Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
He's a good husband.
There was no sushi.
No, there was no sushi. So anyway, that was our little experience of the snow. Before we get into the stitching, I did want to just quickly shout out a brand new Flosstuber that I discovered this week. She just put up her first video within the last few days, and that is Stacy Stitches. So first of all, I have to say I really enjoyed her video. Most people, we all know when we start our Flosstube channels, our first video, we're all so nervous and uncomfortable, and it's just like, ugh. And if she was nervous, it did not show. She really just did a fantastic job. She seemed like a natural in front of the camera. And she stitches, so she showed a lot of really cute small seasonal pieces that were really fun. I saw some things I hadn't seen before, and so I would encourage you, go check out her channel. That is Stacy Stitches. Give her some love and encourage her to keep making videos. So let's get into the stitching. We do not have any finishes to share with you this week, but we have made good progress on all of our whips. So the first thing that I want to show you for me is my fancy lady, and that is Royal Holiday by Mirabilia. So the last time we filmed, or the last time you saw this, it was a brand new start for me. and I was really excited to be getting going on it. I had stitched part of the hair of the lady and was doing, getting a little bit of like her crown and, whatever in her hair. And then also had started stitching on her face, 1/1. And so I had a busy week at work during the week that I was working on her, and had a couple of really late nights and some meetings that I had at night. So didn't get quite as far as I wanted to, but I'm really still pleased with what I accomplished. So I did finish working on her face. Obviously, as you can see, I finished her head and her beautiful headpiece, and then got started stitching on her cloak. I have to tell you, if these colors are just everything. They're so perfect. They're so beautiful. Those reds, I just kept sitting back and looking at them as I was stitching on them. I love them. And I was feeling a little unsure when I was starting to stitch on her headpiece up here, because the highlight colors for those berries are actually varying shades of pinks, some of them fairly light pinks, and purples. And I was kind of like, I don't know about this. I was thinking more of a lot of times when you're doing Christmas stitching, you're using like 304 and 321, and they're blue. They're like a bluish hued red, but they're not a pinky red. And these definitely have a pinky tone to them. So I was kind of unsure, but once I got down into her cloak and some of those darker shades of the pinky reds came out, I was just like, this is perfection. This is absolutely beautiful. So I really enjoyed working on this. I really love the colors, the reds and the golds. There's quite a bit of whisper that I already stitched in her cloak. And I had pretty good luck with that. It's kind of hard to tell, and I'll need to fluff it up as I get closer to the end on working in this piece, which is going to be a long time from now. But as everybody always says, the key to stitching with whisper is to use shorter lengths. And so I had very good luck with that. I only had one strand that snapped on me while I was stitching with it. So really loving this. I think this is going to be such a joy to stitch this year, and I can't wait to get back to her. I did not fix the 1/1, the issue that I talked about in her face where I stitched in the wrong direction. I think I'm still going to go back and do that later, but I just didn't want to deal with it this time. I kind of looked at it and started poking around, and I was just like, this is going to be too much of a pain in the neck to deal with right now. I'll deal with it later. The one thing I will say, and I had mentioned this the last time, with Pattern Keeper, the most recent release now gives you the ability to import a paper pattern if you can take a picture of it or scan it. And you're not able to get the full Pattern Keeper functionality, but you are able to at least mark off your progress and keep track of how many stitches you've done. And so I was able to successfully do that with her while working on this, and really appreciated having that option rather than having to highlight my chart to show my progress. So that's just such a big win for stitchers and for those of us that like to use Pattern Keeper. So anyway, that is my Royal Holiday, and I'm really enjoying her, and I think she's gorgeous. Okay. The next piece I worked on was my seasonal design, which is Holiday Ribbons by Laura J. Perrin. This is a counted canvas piece that I'm stitching on 18 count sage green mono canvas. I should mention, just going back quickly to Royal Holiday, I'm stitching that on 32 count laurel linen. But anyway, back to Holiday Ribbons. So the last time you saw this piece, I was telling you just how quickly this stitches up. And again, this time around is no exception. So when you saw it the last time, I had completely finished off the Christmas wreath ribbons and the gift ribbon, and I was about halfway through the candy cane ribbon and had started the borders for the Christmas tree ribbon. And this just, oh my goodness, I cannot believe how much progress I made. Again, this is where I am on it right now. So it's upside down. Oops. Okay, that's better. So I am so delighted with what I've been able to accomplish, and I haven't even put in a full week on this yet. So I completely finished off the candy cane ribbon. I've stitched in most of the Christmas tree ribbon. There's been a little bit of drama with this ribbon because if you look at, let me actually grab it. So if you see what the mock-up looks like, or the picture on the finished chart looks like, if you look at the Christmas tree ribbon in particular, those Christmas trees really stand out against the green background. And so there's really good contrast. You don't have any trouble seeing them. But as far as stitching with the called for colors, the green from the Christmas trees really tends to blend into the background. They're very close in tone, and I don't know if that's a dye lot issue or what, but when I stitched these, I was really kind of disappointed because I was just like, they're just not showing up. The other thing that I had a problem with is the instructions for stitching those trees are kind of vague. You know, you have a clear sort of structure that it shows you how to use or how to put in to actually create the structure for the trees, but then it's very vague as far as filling them in. It's just like, just use a series of, interweaving stitches to fill in the trees. And so what ended up happening is, as I did the trees up here, they just look like big triangular green blobs. And I kind of changed my approach when I got down to these trees, and they actually looked like Christmas trees as far as the shape. So what I ended up having to do is go back up here, rip out these trees, and then restitch them, and I'm a lot happier with how they look now. The other thing that I had to do was I tried a couple different shades of darker greens to back stitch the trees and give them an outline so that they would stand out. So this ribbon has been a little bit of a challenge, and I've had to kind of find some workarounds, but I'm happy with how it's turning out. And I was able to completely finish this section of ribbon. I did end up using some couching stitches to get the krennic. I like a nice looped garland. And so I did use some couching stitches to get the krennic to lay the way I wanted it to. But I'm close to being finished. So this ribbon is done, or this section of the ribbon is done. This section I'm almost done filling in the background. Then I'll stitch on the decorations on the Christmas trees, and then that ribbon will be done. The other piece that I worked on is I started putting in the holly ribbon, and the holly ribbon is almost completely finished. There's just one little section over here to do. And I was able to really benefit from what I learned on working on the Christmas tree ribbon with the holly ribbon, because it's the same colors of pale green on pale green. And so I just decided before I even started stitching this ribbon that I was going to use a much darker green, and I'm really happy with how it's showing up. And actually I think it's truer to what holly looks like anyway. So I'm super, super pleased with how this is turning out. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun to work on it, and I cannot get over how quickly I'm able to make progress on this. I still have one more day of stitching on this piece in my rotation this time around. So while I certainly won't finish it, I think I will be very well set up to probably finish this the next time it comes up in the rotation. So really looking forward to that. And I'm going to start doing a little bit of research because I've never framed or finished a counted canvas piece. And so I'm kind of, I'm going to have to do a little bit of learning to figure out, what the options are and how best to do that. But at any rate, that is where I am on Holiday Ribbons by Laura J. Perrin. Okay. And the last whip of mine that I have to show you is my progress on the June Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. So the last time we showed this to you, I was telling you how I was pleasantly surprised that I had made a lot of progress on it in a short amount of time. And I was about halfway through at that point. I had kind of started on the house, and I had finished the top sections and the tree and some other things. And so this time around, I am equally happy with what I've been able to accomplish. I'm stitching this on 28 count mushroom Lugana and using all of the called for flosses. And here is where I am. Not entirely finished, but pretty darn close. So I'm totally done with the bottom border. I've done the grass. All I really have left to do to finish this off is just finish filling in this section of the house and the roof, and that will be it. So I would fully expect that this will be another one that I should have finished the next time we film. So hopefully we'll have a new start to show you as well after that. But I really, really have enjoyed working on this one. I love the colors. The stitching feels a bit denser for some reason than some of the stitching on the other cottages, but it's going fairly quickly out despite that. And yeah, it's just a real pleasure to stitch on this one. So that's where we are with the June Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. Okay, we're flying through these today. The last whip that we have to show you is Gary's progress on his I Love Fall project by Cherry Hill Stitchery. And the last time we showed this to you, he had finished the white pumpkin and the dark orange pumpkin, and he was about halfway through maybe the last of the 3 pumpkins. And so I don't know, Gary, do you want to show this, or do you want me to show everybody where you are?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't see how I can get back there without knocking something over.
Okay.
So.
All right. So here is where it is right now. Gary's made some really good progress on this in the last week. So he's completely finished all of this over here. The pumpkins are done. All the leaves and the hearts and the little doodads are stitched in, and he's starting to work on the words. And I just love how it's coming together. Although we did have to do the color conversion on the fly with the different flosses, I really like how they're working together, and I think this is just really pretty. I think it's going to make an adorable finish, and yeah, Gary was hoping to, he's kind of aiming to see if he can get this one finished by the end of February, and at the rate he's going, I think he'll be able to.
I don't know. I just realized that it is February.
February 21st.
Yeah, today's the 21st, so I don't know. We'll see.
I think if you stitch on it every day, you can do it.
Because that's my life.
Your commitment to your stitching should transcend all other things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything you want to add before we put this one down?
Yeah. If you look at the eye there, that one. Thanks, Vanna. If you look at the eye there, what is it? That's the first piece. That's the first one I did literally all by myself. I started the stitch. Amy's been starting all of my stitches for a while, and I just do the stitch after that. And then she was ending them. But I've been ending them for a while, but that eye is literally the first one where I started and ended it. So now I can cross stitch independent of my wife.
You're all grown up now.
She made me this way. Anyway, I got nothing else.
Okay. Well, good job. I'm encouraging him. We're having a discussion about doing backstitch on the white pumpkin, and
yeah,
I think
my head is shaking right now.
I offered to do it for him, and then he reminded me that he is stitching this piece for me. So the debate continues. Stay tuned. Okay, that's it for our whips. So let me show you some haul. I don't have a ton of haul, but I have some very happy haul, or some very happy good things that came. So because Gary is an excellent husband, for Valentine's Day he indulged my my stitchy love by picking out a couple of things from my wish list and gave those to me for Valentine's Day. So the first one, these are all things, well, yeah. First one is Silent Night by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this is a design that I've seen a lot of people stitch over the years. I've always loved it. It's been on, it's been on kind of like the back burner in my wish list for a while. And then during the holidays this year, I picked up something that, a finishing piece, and I knew I wanted to put either this or one other design on as the finish. So I already have a probable finishing piece for this. I think it will probably be this that goes on it, and I love this. I think it's so beautiful. I cannot wait to stitch it, and so yeah, this is a fantastic design. The other thing that one of the other things Gary got me is the other possible finishing, or the other possible design that would go on that finishing piece. And I'll have to stitch them both and see which will work best, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the Country Cottage Needleworks. But this is a Country Winter by Plum Street Samplers. So this is the barn with the snow, and I love this. I think it's adorable. This is another one I'm really excited to stitch, and so I think this is just super, super cute. So yeah, there's that. And then the last piece he got me, I have most of the rest of this series, and when this one came out, I was like, check, add to wish list. And so I was really excited that he picked this one to give me for Valentine's Day. This is Blooming Bouquets Bountiful. It's number 5 by Jeanette Douglas. And I have to tell you that this, when it arrived and I saw this picture up close and personal and not just, on my computer screen, I was like, oh my goodness, this is even more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. And I feel like if that's my reaction to the photograph of the design, we all know that the actual stitch pieces are always more beautiful than the photographs. And so I think when this one is stitched, it's just going to be a stunner. These colors are phenomenal. So really looking forward to being able to bring this one in and get this one stitched. Hopefully relatively soon, we'll see. So that was my Valentine's Day haul. And
I got action figures.
Gary got action figures. He didn't get any cross stitch for Valentine's Day.
I'll find a way to put one of them in here.
Oh, of course you will.
It's neither of the two over there, though.
That's true. That is true. I have to tell you guys, I had a good laugh when I saw these today because I've never seen the guy in the kilt before. And yeah, I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, they're Mike Myers characters.
The guy in the kilt, Gary showed me, he's got a sound effect that we won't play.
Oh, we can't play it. It doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Well, you know what? No.
It's an inappropriate sound effect.
This is about cross stitch.
That's right. Right. Let's bring it back around. Oh, goodness. Well, that is about it for us today. So we'll tell you what we're going to be working on between now and the next time we film. I am going to spend one more day working on my holiday ribbons. So I'll see how much farther I can get on that. I'd like to finish the Christmas tree ribbon, finish off the holly ribbon, and then see if I can get a good start on one of the final 2 ribbons so that I'm set up well to hopefully finish that next time around. After that, I'm going to spend a week working on my full coverage piece, which is Rose Trellis In by Heaven and Earth Designs. Also, I have to tell you guys, this is a little bit of a side note, I don't get startitis too often, but I have had a bad case of startitis, particularly for full coverage pieces in the last week or so. And I've really been fighting myself because I really want to start a new full coverage piece. And I keep thinking, you cannot do that. It is already going to take you 100 years to finish the one you're working on. You can't introduce a new full coverage piece into this. It's just going to be a train wreck if you do. You'll never get anything done. But I keep looking at my full coverage pieces and thinking, oh, I really want to work on that. Oh, I really want to work on that. So I'm feeling it, and it's hard, but whatever. Anyway, so I'll be working on Rose Trellis In. And then I will also, after that, spend a week working on my Loose Feathers sampler, the winter section. And I think it might be a little bit of a stretch to hope for a finish on that the next time around, but it's not completely out of the ballpark. So we will see. It may just be that March ends up being a good month, and maybe even the next video that we come to you with ends up being a good video for some fun finishes. So we will see what happens, but that will be also coming up. And then I'll be pushing for that finish on my June cottage, which will allow me to get started on a new travel piece. So that's what I'll be working on. Gary is obviously going to be pushing for maybe a finish on his piece and then potentially a new start. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. Not a whole lot else to report, but we hope that you guys are doing well, staying safe. We hope that those of you that have been adversely affected by the terrible weather across the U.S. Are getting into a better place and that things will improve for you soon. You're very much in our thoughts. So please do give our video a like. If you haven't subscribed already, we would encourage you to. We have seen a big uptick in subscriptions the last couple weeks. So if you found out about us from another Flosstuber, please let us know, because I would love to be able to go and thank that person. Every now and then we'll have a week where we get 20 or 30 new subscribers, and I always think, oh gosh, who shouted us out? And so I would love to be able to go and thank others if they have helped you find us. But also feel free to leave a comment. We really enjoy your comments. We try and respond to those as often as we can. And between videos, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I am globetrotting_Stitcher, or you can send us an email at globetrottingstitcher@gmail.com. So take care, be safe, be well, keep stitching on all the things that bring you joy, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.